Hi everyone, my name's Josh, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about the difference between HVLP and air spray. We often get customers call up with a bit of confusion over what is turbine HVLP and what is air spray HVLP, and what's the difference between them and which one do they need. So first off, let's start with the term HVLP itself, so we're clear on what that means. HVLP stands for high volume low pressure, so this is referring to the air used to atomise our paint or whatever material it is you're spraying. HVLP uses a large volume of air as opposed to the high pressure air we need for a conventional air spray gun like this one we have here. HVLP turbine units are used to give a fine spray, kind of like you get with the air spray, but because we're spraying at a lower pressure, so 10 psi or below, we don't get anywhere near as much overspray, but also not as fine a finish. Air spray guns like this one run off a compressor rather than a turbine and operate at a higher pressure, so usually somewhere between 30 and 50 psi, depending on what you're doing and what paints you're spraying. What this does is really break up the particles, which gives us a super fine finish, and this is why this style of gun and this type of spraying is really popular with car sprayers, as it's the best finish you can get. The main downside of air spray is the overspray, so we're spraying at somewhere between 3 and 5 times the pressure we are compared with our HVLP turbine system, so all those paint particles will have loads more energy and will create more of a mist in the air and a bit more mess. When picking a new system for you, there's always going to be a bit of a trade-off between what you can have and what the system is capable of. So in a nutshell, HVLP with a turbine system will give you a good finish and create a lot less overspray, whereas an air spray setup with a compressor will give you the best finish possible, or the potential to have the best finish possible, but you're going to need to mask up a bit more and you have the risk of creating a bit more mess. So it all depends on what's important to you. Going back to car sprayers, there can be no compromises with the finish, so you're forced to go with the air spray route. This is why you'll always see professional car sprayers in a fully enclosed booth with good extraction and every part of the car they don't want painted masked up properly. If however you're respraying a customer's kitchen cupboards in their house, most of the time you really aren't going to need the level of finish you can get with an air spray system, and an HVLP turbine system would be absolutely fine. And by using the turbine system, you haven't got to do anywhere near as much masking up, and you can reassure your customer that you aren't going to make a huge mess. You might have also heard the term HVLP when talking about air spray guns, which is correct, you can get HVLP air spray guns. Now, this doesn't mean it can be run off a turbine, it just means you should be able to use it at a slightly lower pressure with your compressor. What makes an air spray gun HVLP is the air cap on the front of the gun. This is the part of the gun that directs the air from our compressor to create our fan pattern. There's hundreds of different combinations of guns and air caps, but generally speaking, if you've got an HVLP air cap on your air spray gun, it will use less air to atomise the paint compared to a conventional equivalent. In my opinion, an HVLP air cap isn't a halfway house between air spray and HVLP turbine spraying. I'd say it's still around 90% air spray, but with a bit more of the efficiencies you get with a turbine system. Switching to an HVLP air cap on your air spray gun does have its pros and cons. The main pro of an HVLP air cap is that it's designed to operate at a lower pressure, which therefore would give you less overspray and less mess. Another upside is, again generally speaking, using the equivalent air cap in HVLP will use less air, so that means you need to carry around a smaller, lighter compressor around with you from job to job. The main problem with HVLP is because it uses less air at a lower pressure, we haven't got as much pressure or volume to break up the particles, and the finish isn't going to be anywhere near as fine as you could get with a conventional gun. And in my opinion, that's the whole reason we go for an air spray system in the first place. Another point to take from this video is that practice and training with these kinds of units is really important, and a good sprayer with an HVLP turbine system could 100% achieve a better finish than someone who doesn't know what they're doing with an air spray gun. If you're looking at getting yourself a replacement gun, the guns themselves can look very similar, especially if you're looking at them on a website. Usually the easiest way to tell them apart is the air inlet size. So guns used on an HVLP turbine unit will have a much larger air inlet, as we need to let in a lot more air because we don't have as much pressure. Also, the supply hoses will be much larger bore on the turbine units. We've made quite a few videos on HVLP systems and air spray guns, so if you wanted to find out a bit more, there'll be a few links on the screen that you can click on at the end of this video. Obviously, if you're looking at getting yourself one of these setups, just give us a call on the number below. We're always happy to help, and we can talk you through all the ins and outs and all the different options available. Well, I hope this video has been useful, and I'll put links in the description below to more information on the different guns, so if you wanted to find out a bit more, you can check it out there. If you've liked the video and found it helpful, then please hit the thumbs up icon, and if you wanted to find out more and get access to exclusive offers, then please subscribe to the channel. Also, if you hit the notification bell, you'll get a notification when we upload a new video. That way you aren't going to miss out on any new offers or content. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.